In Shreveport, you're not getting hugged by a patient, but in East Texas, your patients are hugging you and asking about your mama and them. And
9, 8, 7, 6.
Allow that paramedic AF
with the ballistic shield.
Our service can't stand into account.
Is after nearly 2 decades in healthcare, what keeps you grounded and coming back to this work, even after the system continually changes?
Man, 3 years ago, I would have answered this question differently. I took this contract out in East Texas, and I talk about it a lot. And I don't know if people realize how good that little bitty hospital in East Texas was, but I learned more about myself. I learned more about caring for patients more compassionately out there than I ever did in my city in Northwest Louisiana. And so I think for me, what keeps me coming back to it is the ER just never lets me down. The ER is like always like it's a wild ride, but it never lets me down. I get all the excitement I want. I get all those good feels. Like, in Shreveport, you're not getting hugged by a patient, but in East Texas, your patients are hugging you and asking about your mama and them. And it's a very different vibe. The nursing programs out there for students are so good. They're so good around that area. And not to say that they're bad in Shreveport, but they are just so good in East Texas. And so the students are good. The patients are good. The doctors are kind. I just had a fantastic experience out there. And so what kept me coming back was I would always walk in. I was never mad about going to work. Some days I certainly would rather stay home, but when I pull in the parking lot, the heart rate is there. I'm excited to go in. I don't know what's going to come through the door, but I know what I'm going to get as a provider. And I know what I'm going to do for these people as a caregiver. And then I walk out of there and I was right. And that's what keeps me coming back. It's just always, always, always those good, amazing feels. I will identify as an ER nurse for the rest of my life, no matter what I end up doing in nursing. And I've got this little period right now where I haven't had to work ER in a few months, and it's been really good for our family. But I'll be back in them streets, man. I'm going to be back in that ER. When our kids get settled and they're like off to school and starting families and everything's done on that side, I totally see a case where I'll be back in the ER here.
Dispatch, medic 1, show medic 1 en route.